Hello and welcome to the Council of All Beings. I'm Erin Sharaff, and it is truly an honor to get to host this gathering, this ceremony, and to have you here, witnessing and listening. We'll start right off with an invocation. So I invite you to close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and gather up your attention. Bring it into this moment, into your body and into that area right around your heart. As you settle in and listen to these words by John Seed. We ask for the presence of the spirit of Gaia and pray that the breath of life continues to caress this planet home. May we grow into true understanding, a deep understanding that inspires us to protect the tree on which we bloom, and the water, soil, and atmosphere without which we have no existence. May we turn inwards and stumble upon our true roots in the intertwining biology of this exquisite planet. May nourishment and power pulse through these roots in fierce determination to continue the billion-year dance. May love well up and burst forth from our hearts. May there be a new dispensation of pure and powerful consciousness, and the charter to witness and facilitate the healing of the tattered biosphere. We ask for the presence of the Spirit of Gaia to be with us here, to reveal to us all that we need to see for our own highest good and for the highest good of all. We call upon the spirit of evolution, the miraculous force that inspires rocks and dust to weave themselves into biology. You have stood by us for millions and billions of years. Do not forsake us now. Empower us and awaken us in pure and dazzling creativity. You that can turn scales into feathers, seawater to blood, caterpillars to butterflies. Metamorphose our species. Awaken in us the powers that we need to survive the present crisis and evolve into more eons of our solar journey. Awaken in us a sense of who we truly are, tiny ephemeral blossoms on the tree of life. Make the purposes and destiny of that tree our own purpose and destiny. Fill each of us with love for our true self, which includes all of the creatures and plants and landscapes of the world. Fill us with a powerful urge for the well-being and continual unfolding of this self. May we speak in all human councils on behalf of the animals and plants and landscapes of the earth. May we shine with a pure inner passion that will spread rapidly through these leaden times. May we all awaken to our true and only nature, none other than the nature of Gaia, this living planet Earth. We call upon the power which sustains the planets in their orbits, that wheels our Milky Way in its 200 million year spiral, to imbue our personalities and our relationships with harmony, endurance, and joy. Fill us with a sense of immense time, so that our brief, flickering lives may truly reflect the work of vast ages past, and also the millions of years of evolution, whose potential lies in our trembling hands. O stars, lend us your burning passion. O silence, give weight to our voice. We ask for the presence of the Spirit of Gaia. I thank you all for being here. As you might know, this idea comes from indigenous cultures who, for some of them, when an important decision was going to be made, every being who would be impacted had a voice on the council. So if trees were going to be cut down, someone, a person, would be designated to represent trees' interest. If a river was going to be impacted, somebody would be designated to represent the interests of river. And that voice would have an equal voice and vote on the council. And when I heard of this concept, it resonated so deeply with me, and I imagined the world that we would have now if we could get back to that kind of reverence and interconnectedness with all of life. And we don't need to go into all the things that are wrong with our planet right now, but if you're listening to this, I'm guessing you have a sense of the magnitude of the problem. We're in the middle of a mass extinction of historic proportions, and by some biologists' estimates, by the end of this century, half of the non-human species that exist on the planet will be gone, extinct, never to be seen again. Last year, 40 football fields of trees per minute, 39 million acres were lost around the world, and we could see fishless oceans by 2048. This is serious business that we're in, and it's important that we who are part of the species causing the destruction come together to clearly and powerfully state our intentions for healing. And this council is based on Dr. Joanna Macy's work, but it's not an exact replica of her work. And I'd like to clearly state our intention here today. May our coming together help heal the illusion of separation and help usher in a peaceful and compassionate world for all beings. I invite you to hold this intention in your heart as we proceed. This whole gathering, this whole ceremony is an act of love. And even though only 8 beings will be specifically spoken for in the council, this is held on behalf of all beings, especially the voiceless, the rooted ones, the four-leggeds, the winged ones, the finned ones. As we move through the council, some strong emotions might come up, especially during the first part, when the truth is spoken. The first part is sort of a truth and reconciliation, and that's okay. This is about bearing witness, turning towards what's happening, instead of distracting ourselves from it. And I think so often we hear about some of the tragedies that are happening, and we feel helpless and overwhelmed, and so we turn away. Not now. Now we will turn towards. So if a lot of sadness, grief, anger, some of those emotions come up, make space for them. Let them move through you. Honor that. Whatever's coming up is appropriate. And the first part might not feel good, but it's also important to bear witness. We need to see things clearly and feel them in order to heal them. And it's also an honoring of the other beings to take the time and space in this way to attempt to let their voices be heard. And our jobs as witnesses is to honor. We close our eyes as the voices are being spoken, and we receive. And as we do, we're deepening our connection with that being and with all of life. But stay with us, because in the second part, you will hear the most beautiful version of life possible from each of these beings' perspectives. And the first step in creating such a beautiful world, the more beautiful world we know is possible, is to be able to imagine it and to know that we could bring it into being. We can do our best to listen with our heart. The heart has about 60 times the energy, the power of the head. And I say that as something that can be measured. If we put on an EKG and an EEG, one on the heart, one on the head, the one from the heart is about 60 times stronger. So when we tap into the power of the heart, it creates new possibilities. We'll have some moments of silence in between each speaker. And if you're listening to the recording, you could press pause and create even more silence for yourself. And so, without further ado, I will start by speaking for whale. I am whale. For over 11 million years we have been here, swimming through the cold, clean oceans of Earth, raising our young, communicating in our own language, which is rich and complex. We breathe air, nurse our babies. Some of us travel in family units for our entire lives, and our family units can include 4 generations, run by females, with the oldest and wisest granny at the helm, sharing her wisdom and teaching the young. We play, we love, we travel, and we grieve. In the recent past, our lives have changed dramatically and tragically. In only the past 400 years, over 1 million of us have been killed. Many of us are almost extinct. Our unique, magnificent beauty never again to be seen on planet Earth. So many men and so many boats came for us with harpoons. The water filled with our cries and our blood. Our families watched helplessly. Why? What did we do to you? All the killing was impossible for us to understand. Those of us who are left get tangled in your fishing gear. Your nets strangling us so we cannot move or eat. We get hit by your ships. We don't have enough to eat anymore because the humans have taken the fish. Our beautiful, watery home has become polluted and perilous. Some of us get imprisoned in tiny cages where you force us to do demeaning tricks while humans applaud. For you, it might be a few minutes of entertainment. For us, it is a lifetime of suffering and despair. Where is our family? Why can't we roam the oceans as we are meant to? How much this hurts our soul is impossible to put into words. We know that most of you are not malicious, that you have not taken the time to see us clearly or to examine the consequences of your actions. Did you know that our bodies are filled with so many poisonous chemicals that some of us are considered hazardous waste after we die? Our beautiful bodies filled with toxins like DDT, PCBs, flame retardants, even Prozac. The incessant noise from your shipping and sonar causes immense suffering for us, from which we cannot escape. It has driven some of us to suicide by beaching ourselves, blood pouring out of our ears from the damage done by your equipment. We could not take the pain anymore. It would be like you being trapped directly in front of the noise of the loudest speaker at a rock concert, with no way to escape, day in and day out. Our communication is disrupted, as is our ability to find food. A whale mother can only give birth to 1 calf every couple of years. Now, many of us aren't healthy enough to even get pregnant, never mind carry a baby to term. On July 24th of this year, one of my sisters in the Pacific Northwest gave birth to a baby. Finally. This blessed event was met with much rejoicing. Unfortunately, the baby lived for only 30 minutes, too emaciated to swim or feed or even float. The mother, starving herself from lack of salmon, held the baby above the water for 17 days. At first, a desperate attempt to keep her alive, then a mourning, a collective funeral and grieving for this baby and for all that we have lost. I ask you to stop, to see me, to see us, to honor our cries and know our grief and anguish at all we have lost. Know that our fates are interconnected. Please think about what a world without whales in it would be like. And if that concerns you, please act accordingly. The time is now. It is not too late yet, but soon it will be. I am Whale, and I thank you for listening.
Who will speak for River?
I am River. I wind through the land to the ocean. I start on the mountainsides and in alpine meadows. So many beings come and go on my waters with fins, feet, wings, scales, and fur. They call me home, and I enable their generations upon generations with fresh flowing water. Humans have been a major challenge for me. First they dammed me, which stopped my flow and made it impossible for other creatures to. Adult fish cannot ascend into mountain rivulets where their babies would hatch in clean and delicately flowing gravel beds. And then the adults' spent bodies would be consumed by other animals and bugs, bringing life to these upland environments. Life used to pulse outward across the land from all my waters. Bears would fish in my waters and then carry nutrients into high alpine meadows where grasses grow to feed other four-legged creatures, and so on. Dams have killed many fish, even on rivers with fish ladders, which if a fish manages to ascend, that fish enters a stagnant reservoir rather than my flowing waters. And let me tell you about reservoirs. They fill with sediment, which robs the downstream riverbank and river bottom of regenerative sand and soil. Farmlands and animal pastures drain nutrient-rich water into me, causing algae bloom, which can be toxic to fish and frogs and everything else. My waters turn blue-green, become clogged, and then depleted of oxygen. As my waters die, fish die, hundreds at a time. As my waters join the ocean, we fan out, bringing oxygen depletion and more death into the sea and its creatures. Mines on the land run off into my waters, clogging my rivulets with debris and burying fish eggs alive so they never may hatch. Toxic chemicals from gold mines, coal mines, lead mines, uranium mines, sulfide mines flow into me. I cried for a full year when my Animas River in Colorado was violated in your year 2015. By 3 million gallons. Of toxic waste from an abandoned gold mine. Turning my waters bright orange and injecting sulfuric acid, aluminum, and arsenic into me. I am very worried about all the other mines that have been abandoned by human tribes all over the world. The humans leave behind a wasteland which I cannot clean with natural processes. Now they put batteries into every small and large device, creating frantic demand for cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, and the mines that produce these minerals. When my waters descend to the lowlands near your cities, human sewage and industrial waste flow into me. Bacteria thrive, heavy metals accumulate in my mud, poisoning worms, bugs, fish, and birds that eat and nest by the river. I am very concerned by dams, mines, farm runoff, harmful bacteria, and industrial waste. My waters no longer run clear.
and many creatures are dying. I am River. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, River. We see you and we honor you. Who will speak for Deer?
I am Deer. Can I be heard?
Yes.
I am honored to be in this council of beings, for we love all species and bring no harm. There are nearly 60 species of us worldwide. We are present on almost all continents and roam a range of habitats. We are in abundance, but need to speak now, before that is no longer the case. We are social and travel in groups. In many cultures, we are seen as sacred animals, connected to God, embodying the spirit of gentleness and softness. In the Buddhist tradition, golden deer spoke to humans. In Tibetan legends, deer helped humans solve problems. The deer is a traditional symbol of the heart chakra, the embodiment of the energy of love and harmony with oneself and others. Once I was heartened to hear the two-legged species read the story of Bambi to their young, as they celebrated the friendship of Bambi with Thunder the rabbit and Flower the skunk. We heard Bambi's mother caution of danger in the forest. Our fawns walk within a half hour of being born and stay with their mother for 2 years. We never knew that's not where the danger lied. But together we were saddened by the pain of Bambi losing his mother. And I was hopeful. But then I overhear a cocktail party where the two-legged species share strategies and talk of deer deterrent chemicals and find ways to make it not possible for us to have a proper food supply. We are vegetarians, eating grass, shrubs, and leaves. I walk away in disbelief of your words. I then am behind a tree as your neighbor bemoans the damage to his expensive car, and later learn it is a result of the loss of one of my friends. I walk away deeply hurt. I finally hear of vacation plans to hunt older members of my family because they do not run as fast, and you can kill us. I run away, scared to ever come close again. I am there, and I thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Deer. We hear you and we see you. Who will speak for Bear?
I will speak for Bear. I am Bear. I have enjoyed all that Mother Earth has had to offer me since the beginning of my time. I love my nose, and I use it as my main sense to experience this amazing planet. I love smelling the new berries as they ripen on the vine and the yummy grubs that live deep in the soil. Can you smell them? The smell of humans, however, they cause me sometimes to pause. I'm feeling great sadness and concern that the humans have lost their way. Many, many years ago, with the more primitive humans, they used to be in better harmony and peace with me. Luckily, still today, in small places of the world, we are still revered by the local people. They don't even speak our name because they understand the power and the majesty of bear. We are mighty creatures, and in the spirit world, we are oftentimes protectors and guides for the humans. In fact, I am the animal totem for Joanna. I protect her and her pack. And now I'm calling on the humans to guide and protect bear on this physical plane. Bears are facing threats on many fronts, most of which are due to human activity. Sometimes indirectly, humans are taking over our natural habitats due to farming and deforestation. They are destroying my trees and my water. They are burning and cutting down my house. And I can't find all my delicious berries and my grubs and my fish anymore. Sometimes they're directly trying to hurt us. They are killing us to protect their things and their material possessions. Sometimes they're even killing us just for fun, for sport. They want my prized fur, and they want to put my head on a wall and show the other humans that they are stronger and more powerful with their guns. Also, many humans fear us in totally irrational ways. They think because I am big and powerful, I want to hurt the humans and cause them harm. I am here to tell you today not to be afraid of us, but to respect us and to help us thrive, just as you wish to thrive in the natural order of all things. Bears and humans can live in harmony and peace, just as we did ages and ages ago. Will you help Bear? I am Bear. Please hear my plea.
Thank you, Bear. We see you and we hear you.
I will speak for Mustang. I am Mustang. The history of my species in North America goes way back 55 million years ago with Eohippus, known as the dawn horse. We originated in North America, spread into South America, and across land bridges into what you humans call the Old World. We ran free in large herds across the vast grasslands. About 8,000 or 10,000 years ago, in human years, horses disappeared from North and South America, driven extinct by the encroachment and hunting of man and changes in the environment. About 6,000 years ago, the first horses were domesticated by man in the steppes region near the Black Sea. Our species changed the history of man by providing transportation We were used as mounts for humans to go to war with each other, and we suffered great loss of life for their benefit and their gain. We provided transportation for them to explore and spread their population into new places. Beginning in the 16th century, horses were reintroduced to the Americas by Spanish explorers and settlers that brought their horses with them from Europe and other countries. Over the years, many of us escaped from captivity or were turned loose and eventually formed herds that are now known as the American Mustang. By the mid-1800s, there were millions of wild Mustangs roaming free in the United States. But these numbers dwindled greatly as the human population grew and our environment was slowly destroyed or limited. Many of us are injured or even killed in this process. We were put into holding pens and sometimes spent months or even years in these pens, no longer free to roam.
Thank you, Mustang. We see you and we hear you. Who will speak for Wolf?
I speak for Wolf. I am Wolf. I am here to voice our concerns. I have been roaming this land for hundreds of thousands of years. Once upon a time, there were millions of us walking this continent. The indigenous people of this land admired and emulated me. They respected my hunting abilities and honored me because I provided food for the community at large, for foxes, the coyotes, even the ravens. They considered me wise, powerful, instinctive hunter, a teacher, in fact, of tactics humans could emulate when hunting buffalo or caribou. Then the white men arrived. They brought with them their fears and their false beliefs. The greatest threat to my survival is prejudice, fear, and misunderstanding of my species. Many human fairy tales and myths tend to misrepresent me as villainous, dangerous creature. During the 19th and 20th centuries, as the human population grew, humans began to compete with me for game and habitat. I was seen as a pest and a vermin, and we were slaughtered by the thousands. In fact, between 1850 and 1900, more than 1 million of us were killed. In 1907, the call was given for the total extinction of my species. It's a wonder I am still here. There are very few of us left. Around 25,000 of us now walk this land. I am worried. The greatest threat I face these days remain the same. Habitat loss, intolerance, and conflict with humans. Now death comes from a flying machine. Entire packs are exterminated by automatic weapons. There is no time to run and nowhere to hide. I am Wolf, and I am worried my pups will have no future. Humans need to understand. We have been here from the beginning. We are harmony, and we are not understood because of this. We are saddened by the disharmony of humankind. You need to know we are protectors, teachers, parents to the very young of all species. All species, when in balance, treat all beings well, live in communion with the earth. Humans wonder why wolf doesn't interact with them. We won't until they desire to come into the earth's harmony. How to get in harmony? Listen to the earth, air, water, sun, the plants, the insects, animals, birds, children. Just listen. They will whisper to you if you are sincere. We are teachers of children because they know to listen. I am Wolf. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Wolf. We see you and we hear you. Who will speak for orangutan?
I will speak for orangutan. I am orangutan. I am suffering and crying out for help. My innovativeness and intelligence has once allowed me to survive, but now surviving is my everyday challenge. My habitat is being eliminated. Complete loss. Lodging and the building of roads through my once luscious forest is destroying the only home that I know. I am finding it difficult to survive when I can't find fruit to eat, since all the mature trees are gone. The climate that surrounds me leaves me frightened. The severe droughts are causing fires to rage, killing all around me. The rainforest's low elevation trees where I sleep and bear my young are disappearing. And instead, oil palm plantations are here. Where is my shelter, my source of food, and my protection? The two-leggeds have moved into my forest and have settled, converting my home into theirs, leaving me without. When I try to survive by any means, by taking some of their fruit, they shoot at me, persecute me, and exterminate my family. Why? I am slow to mature and reproduce, as I only bear one offspring at a time. I fear that my species will not survive any more loss. Our mothers are being killed, which leaves us orphans to be sold as pets. Even if we are rescued and rehabilitated, without the teaching of our mothers, we are not able to care for our young properly or to even survive in the wild. I am afraid of the two-legged. I thought you were protecting me, but I've seen your work, and it is to capture us. I cry out to be saved. My heavy heart wonders, why can't they be enough for all of us? Why can't you see our similarities? We are all one. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you, orangutan. We see you and we hear you. Who will speak for Mother Earth?
I am Mother Earth. My body, my heart, feel every pain, every sorrow of my children. Pain and sorrow are a natural, intricate part of existence, but humans have brought unnecessary pain and sorrow upon yourselves by your self-focused actions and the belief that all your needs be met, that you always be comfortable and are the only life form on this earth, my body, that are valued. My heart is broken, witnessing and feeling the mistreatment of animals, the waste of food and resources that I have brought forth to you with love. Humans have disrespected the land, the trees, the waters. To what gain? For a brief moment in time of sated fulfillment? Or for the gluttony of power and greed? Humans, harm yourselves by being so self-focused and self-important, considering yourselves to be more deserving than all other living beings. Your waste is filling my waters and poisoning the water, the land, and the air. The food you eat is no longer what I have provided for your nourishment. It seems you know better what you need. The trees are my lungs, the mountains my heart. Human life is suffocating itself and me by cutting out with little regard the trees that breathe for us. The plants that are the food and medicines for thriving are treated with disrespect, ignorance, and even totally disregarded as having no value to human life other than to decorate it. I, Mother Earth, hold nothing but love for my children, all the living beings of my body. My nature has cycles that few humans understand. The world of animals, nature, life elements, all living things other than humans understand the cycles of life innately. Humans have become blinded, distracted by your own intelligence, your cleverness, your ability to create, think, and change the world around you. What are you lacking? What are you needing so much that you are willing to compromise your own health and happiness by taking and taking and taking? What about giving, sharing, receiving? For receiving is a very different thing than taking. Help yourselves by helping me. I am weary, but I am strong. The movements you take as destruction and signs that I am angry, my earthquakes, floods, and volcanoes, are my breathing, my natural body movements. I too must breathe and stretch to stay healthy. It is not anger that brings on natural disaster. It is imbalance or dis-ease. I am painfully out of balance. We must work together to bring my body and your relationship to the natural world back into balance for the health and well-being of the whole. Hold me as I hold you, and we can thrive together. But it must start soon. Creation of life and love, a mother's love, is the reason we're all here together. Whale Mother wore her grief and agony publicly for all to witness the loss of her child and the pain of this loss on the whole family. To show family banding together and sharing the pain of the mother. Let this be an awareness to you. People have forgotten how to grieve, how to share and be supported in grief. Humankind has lost its connection to the importance of living the grief in a healthy way, riding the wave of grief supported by the whole. Let the animal world show you, teach you, remind you how to grieve as a way to heal. Mother whale is a mirror for the keening of human loss. But sadly for humankind, yours is the pain of having lost your way. I am Mother Earth. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you, Mother Earth. We see you and we hear you and we honor you. And we honor all the beings who have just spoken. And we'll take 2 minutes of silence to sit with all that we have just received and witnessed. That was very, very powerful. Thank you to everyone who spoke and gave voice. There's a lot to sit with here, and I know I'll be sitting with it later, and I encourage you all to do the same. But in the interest of time, I will move forward into our next part here. And so I don't want to say too much and just get right to it, but the concept of dreaming something into being is from the shamanic world. And it's not that we don't take action. It's not this or that. It's this and that. And there's a story that years ago somebody went down to the Amazon to meet with one of the few indigenous tribes left down there that haven't had a lot of contact with Westerners, but they sort of know what's going on, and asked them this question: what advice do you give for the Western world? How can we help? How can we stop this train that we're on? You know, the implication of the question was, do we get rid of our cars? Do we, build more solar panels? Or all of those kind of left brain things. And what the elder said was, teach your people to dream a new dream. You're dreaming the wrong dream. And so for indigenous peoples, they know that the imagination, the energy of that, the heart energy, whatever you want to call it, has power. And we can create from that place. And so we're stepping into the mystery here. It's not something that a lot of voice is given to in our modern day culture. But as we move through this, I encourage you to just suspend your disbelief, pretend that it's possible, that we have the power to dream things into being collectively, not individually, but collectively. Once enough of us start giving energy and attention to a new dream, you might just start to see things start to change and move in that direction. But if we can't see it, we can't feel it, we can't even imagine it, how can we possibly create it? So it's from that place that we move into this next piece and speak our truth from the highest vision of things, of what we know is possible. And as we're witnessing this, our job is to feel into it and see it as if it's happening now, not something that might be possible for the future, but being grateful for it as if it's already here. And so, without further ado, I will speak for Whale. I am Whale. Humans, thank you for hearing my cry and for changing your actions, your culture, and your priorities. Some didn't think it could be done, but it has been done. Your intentions and your actions, your clear seeing and your love have started a series of shifts that started small, but ultimately resulted in a healing in the collective consciousness of the human race, and therefore a healing for all beings. Once a critical mass of you began to remember how connected we all are, a domino effect took place that resulted in an entirely new set of values and priorities, a new and enlightened version of what it means to be an earthling. We now look back on those days when you imprisoned us in parks and harpooned us just for money, the same way we look back on other abominations perpetuated throughout history. You humans are a young species and still learning, but thankfully you can learn. And we are so grateful that you took action before it was too late for us. We thank you for being brave and stopping the noise pollution in the oceans. Your creative minds allowed you to create ships that are almost silent and that don't run on polluting fossil fuels. We cannot tell you what a relief it is to be able to enjoy the quiet of the oceans again, and to be able to communicate across long distances, and to be able to easily find enough food. We are so very grateful that the oceans are healthy and clean again. Thank you for insisting that the harmful chemicals stop being used. It took a great and courageous action on your part to shift the human culture away from one dominated by money. But through your beliefs and insistence, and your consciously withdrawing your consent from that which you know to be destructive, this problematic system was hospiced and a new, more enlightened system was born. You remembered that anything created by humans can be undone by humans. The creative force within each and every one of you is a powerful thing, and I thank you for using it for the greater good. Thank you also for refusing to use all the plastic. Our oceans are starting to slowly clean up again from the scourge of all the plastic particles. Our numbers are starting to increase. Whale now has enough food to grow and be a normal weight. We're not hungry anymore. We can get pregnant and enjoy the joy of birth and raising our young. We know it was a sacrifice for you to stop eating fish for a while, but we thank you for doing that, as it was the only way for the nets to go away and to allow our food supply to replenish itself. There are some things about us that you humans will never be able to understand, but we have so much in common and share the same emotions. So please know that your love of us is reciprocated many times over. When you love and respect us, it's the same as loving and respecting yourself. What diminishes one diminishes all, and what benefits one benefits all. Thank you for taking a stand in your heart first and foremost. That's what helps shift the course of life on planet Earth at this critical time in history. You were the ones we've been waiting for. Your thoughts and feelings mattered. Your actions made a difference. You mattered. You did it. You did. And for that, we will always be grateful. Love, Whale. Who will speak for River?
I will speak for River. I am so grateful that the humans have taken down 2,000 dams. When this happened, many animals became free to come and go up and down my waters as they once did. Sediment, which had piled up for decades, washed downstream to rebuild sandbars and riverbanks where ferns and grasses have started to grow again. Oxygen levels in the water are restored to normal levels so that bugs, fish, and plants can once again take hold. I am so grateful that humans are taking a close look at all my rivers and plan to remove dams and restore flowing waters on all continents. 2,000 more dams will come down in the next year. I am so glad that humans have started taking a longer and more enlightened view of mining projects. Short-term mining profits are no longer the only consideration. Some humans are now speaking for earth, birds, trees, and fish, and their voices are being heard. They have figured out a way to use fewer minerals, and when they do mine, their minerals don't destroy the natural world and leave a 1,000-year legacy of spreading toxic waters. I'm so glad that Bristol Bay in Alaska has been fully protected from the Pebble Mine, which was to be one of the world's largest gold and copper mines. This open pit mine wound could have been several thousand feet deep and 4 to 5 miles across, similar in size and scope to the Grand Canyon in your state of Colorado. I am glad the humans realized the true cost of mining and making batteries for their electronics. As the costs kept getting higher, they figured out how to recycle what they had already taken from the earth. No more new acid mine runoff, no more new arsenic being injected into my waters. I am so glad that animal farm waste runoff decreases each year. Humans learned that they felt better and lived longer when they reduced their intake of meat. They realized the inconsistency of taking loving care of their house pet while slaughtering other four-leggeds by the million. Some of their pasture returns to forest land every year, and my waters get cleaner and cleaner. I am so glad that cities have installed new sewer lines so that raw sewage no longer flows into my waters when we have a deep and beautiful rainfall. Bacteria counts are much lower. Humans have started coming back to my shores. Some are swimming again in my waters. This is a good thing. As I provide cool, refreshing beauty to the humans, more and more of them wake up and try to help me. I am so grateful for all this. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, River. We're so happy that you're clean. Who will speak for Deer?
I am Deer. And thank you, humans, we did it. We move through life together, as Bambi did with Thumper and Flower, moving in the spirit of love for all beings and removing the barriers and actions that once separated us. Together we are in tune with the earth and the universe and open our hearts and love to all beings unconditionally. We are proving we can be both strongly determined and gentle at the same time throughout our lives, even during challenging times. Thank you for caring for us more than your material things. We know how deeply that was conditioned into you and how tough that was for you to put aside. Now together we are stewards of peace, acting with gentleness and grace, our social groups now beautifully connected, and we ever so thankful that we didn't wait too long and that we finally live in harmony. Gratefully and lovingly, Deer.
Thank you, Deer. I'm so happy that you're reporting that we're now living in peace and harmony. Who will speak for Bear?
I'll speak for Bear. I'm Bear. We knew you could do it, humans. You were just asleep, like my long winter nap. And now the bears are cheering for you. We are honoring and revering each other. The berries are back. The fish are plentiful. The grubs are huge and delicious. Can you smell them? The humans have stopped devastating the woods and the rivers and are now protecting them. So I have plenty of room and space to forage. I have room to bring my cubs into the world and to rest peacefully during the winter months in my dark cave. They have put up signs to let the other humans know that I live here and to be respectful of my house and my little ones. The humans are no longer taunting me with mystical smells, but rather they're keeping their food contained and out of my senses. The humans have stopped killing me for fun and to feel bigger than me. They want to get a glimpse of me, but they quietly move in the other direction and they don't make me feel afraid of them anymore. The humans have more compassion for my beauty, and instead of shooting me and placing me on their wall or floor, they let me be and only observe me from a distance. I, in turn, respect the humans and their young, and neither of us feel threatened, and we go on to live in peace. I am Bear, and I offer up the gift of protection to the humans.
Thank you, Bear. Such a beautiful story, and I'm so glad that we're now living in peaceful coexistence. Thank you for that report. Who will speak for Mustang?
I will speak for Mustang. I am Mustang. Thank you, humans, for cleaning up your waterways so that now we have abundant water and grasses to eat. For creating preserves, protected lands where we can live in peace. We're coming up with creative and humane ways of controlling our population so that we are not overcrowded lacking for resources. The humans have learned how to cooperate and work together and have created sanctuaries where we can live, have created humane ways that we can be gathered and put up for adoption. So now we are living in harmony. We give thanks.
Thank you, Mustang. That is a beautiful scenario. Thank you for reporting it. Who will speak for Wolf?
I will speak for Wolf. I am Wolf. I am overjoyed. The humans have realized that I am an intrinsic part of the web of life. That I have a very important role to play in keeping the ecosystem healthy and in balance. I'm happy to help keep the population of herds healthier and more vigorous, and in the process, help to keep habitats healthy. My heart rejoices at the possibility of running freely and playing out in the open without care. I am grateful for the respect the humans now give me. And I am relieved at seeing our numbers grow. It's an honor to share this land with every living being. And I look forward to learning from each other. I'm happy to teach humans how I interact in my community. Every single member of my pack has their need taken care of. We need to grow our numbers and we do it responsibly. We only have the pups we are able to take care of. I am happy that humans are willing to learn. It gives me hope for the future of our planet. And last but not least, it makes me jump for joy to see that now humans and all other beings are joyful when they hear my voice, to the moon, or to other members of my pack that are far away. I am Wolf, and I thank you.
Oh, Wolf. I feel that as truth. Thank you. Who will speak for Orangutan?
I will speak for Orangutan. I am Orangutan. I am joyful and grateful. You can hear my happy sounds booming through the forest. You have realized that you need these mature trees just as I do. As a matter of fact, the forest is restored and expanded. And I freely move wherever I may wish to go. And oh, the fruit that I need, here it is. Plenty for me and all around. The logging and plantation building is gone. I am now free to use my surroundings as my gym to express my acrobatic abilities. Wait till you see what I do next. The two-leggeds have stopped capturing us, and you finally see where we belong. Home. My sisters and mothers are able to mature and provide for their offspring. We are slowly but steadily repopulating the rainforest. My climate has returned to its natural, normal state. The fires no longer threaten our life and homes. The two-leggeds have retreated and paid honor and respect to our environment. They no longer just have laws, but abide by them for all of our protection. We now live side by side, but respectfully in peace, and we thank you.
Thank you for that report, Orangutan. It was so joyous and so beautiful. I can see the acrobatics. And who will speak for Mother Earth?
I am Mother Earth. What is a mother? Who is a mother? A mother cares for, loves, and protects her children, guides and teaches them. Yet it's a two-way street. The children must be willing to listen, learn, grow, and fail, and begin again. Then Mother allows them to be who they must be, but always, always holds them in love. I, Mother Earth, can support, teach, offer, guide, love, but ultimately humans, my children, must find their own way. A mother cannot live your life for you and make everything right, not even me. I feel the love deep within each of you here who have chosen to pay attention. I feel the love you evoke on behalf of me and every living thing. This love is what you bring to each and every day. Live it. Show others in your life what it looks like to walk through life with this beautiful healing love. Humans need to be shown and sometimes even need permission to act in a different way. You are the model, the example. Those around you feel you and feel the love you carry for them and for life itself. This love that you carry, that you embody, brings harmony and balance back to my lungs, to my blood, and to my heart. This love brings healing to you. This love makes all the difference. Humankind finds its balance with the natural world. After all, humans are of the natural world, are you not? You are made of the elements of earth, as are all living beings. You are a part of me, just as all life is a part of me. With love, Mother Earth.
Thank you, Mother Earth. That's a perfect transition into 2 minutes of silence to feel into the beautiful world that we've just been shown. So there's no reason that every single word that was just spoken cannot come to fruition. What we dream matters. What we hold space for in our hearts and our minds matters. I hope that all of you who are here, receiving these words, supporting this dream with your presence, will take this possibility, this seed out with you and keep watering it, keep taking it out, dusting it off every day, imagining it. And there's no reason why we cannot dream this into being. It's actually the natural order of things. I want to see, we've just got a couple of minutes left, if any of the beautiful people who are here as witnesses would like to say anything. And if so, you can feel free to unmute yourself. Or if anyone on the council has any last words to say.
I would like to offer a gift from Mother Earth.
Please.
I leave you with this gift of haiku. My earth, my body, run love through my veins once more, and we will be healed.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Wolf has a gift. Wolf brings the gift of loyalty.
Thank you, Wolf.
River has a gift.
Yes.
I give the humans the gift of peaceful meditation, the feeling that comes over you when you find a hidden waterfall in the deep forest, and the afternoon sun casts a vibrant rainbow across a misty rock face. And a frog goes, ribbit, ribbit.
Thank you, River. Anyone else?
Dia has a gift for humans.
Please, dear.
Dia gives to humans the strength, grace, and happiness at a deeper level than any of the things they gave up. The manicured lawns, the expensive cars, or the one-sided games. Peaceful happiness.
Oh, wow. Thank you, dear.
Orangutan has a gift.
Oh, yes.
Orangutan offers up the gift to know oneself and to know the power that lies within you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Orangutan. Does Bear have a gift?
Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry. Bear has another gift. Bear is offering up power and certainty that everything that was spoken today will be.
And so it is. Well, there was a lot here. There was a lot, and I'm going to send out the recording of this to everyone that was here tonight, and I know I'm going to listen to it again. There were so many gifts that you all shared. And it's so important to witness what's actually happening and then to feel into how it could be. And it's entirely possible that we can dream this into being together. It's going to take all of us doing it, all of us feeding it with our energy, with our imagination, with our heart, with our choices and our actions. And unfortunately, these aren't conversations that I have, most of us have in the course of a normal day. And so we have to keep coming back to this dream. We have to find others to share the dream with us and to keep giving voice to it and knowing that it's possible and making our choices in our life, aligning that with this vision that we can see and feel into and taste. And this is the first step, is seeing it and feeling it and valuing it and knowing that it's possible. And so I thank you, Bear and River and Deer, Turtle, Mustang, Wolf, Orangutan, Mother Earth, and all of you that joined here to witness this process. I feel the connection with you all, and I believe and know to be true that these intentions are felt beyond the circle of humans. And so let the journey continue, and may we gather together again at some future point to nourish this dream. And if there are any last words to be spoken, speak them now.
I would also like to thank Well for
Oh,
participating.
thank you, Wolf. You are welcome. All right. Well, feeling so much love in my heart for all of you, and so much hope and excitement about getting this ship back on course. And I know that we can do it together. And the only way that we can do it is through dreaming dreams like this. And so we're dreaming a new dream. We're doing it. Onwards. Thank you so much. Much love to you all.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Mm.